Ella and Magen podcast. Ella and Magen podcast. 1, 2, 3. Testing.
Ella and Magen podcast. Ellen and Magen podcast. Yes, let's get into this podcast.
Woo!
Yay!
Hello, North Stars. Welcome to Meet the Stars.
I'm Ella.
And I'm Magen. Hopefully you heard our first little introductory episode, and that's what brought you here.
Give you a little taste of what we're going to be giving you.
Yeah, and if you didn't, go ahead and listen to it just so you know kind of what we're about and everything. But if you didn't, basically we're just going to interview a new North Star every episode, hopefully each week, but with everyone's schedules, we'll figure it out.
That'll give us the opportunity to get to know them better and their club.
And we would love it if you guys would reach out to us if you have any suggestions of people who are willing to be interviewed with us. If you think, this person stands for a really good cause, or they have a lot going on, they're doing a lot for our school, anything like that, we would love to talk to them. Or if they're just a fun person, you think, they'd be good in a podcast, then go ahead.
Have a fun little conversation.
Mm-hmm. So, Ella, did you have social studies?
National Honor Society?
Yeah, was that today?
Yep.
How's that?
It's going pretty good. We have our our only induction meeting next Monday, which should go pretty well. We have some pretty cool things in store.
Are you in any other clubs?
Yeah, I'm in theater. Right now we're doing the fall play, the Penelope ad. Mm-hmm. It's going along pretty smoothly.
When are those shows, do you know?
I think they're the 24th to the 26th at 7 each night at our SCN auditorium. But yeah, that should be pretty cool. I know that we have a lot of cool set stuff in store.
Oh, that sounds cool.
I know that you're in band. Do you have any concerts coming up?
Yeah, well, actually, so I'm in Jazz Workshop. I play guitar, and we have a gig. It's this upcoming Tuesday for us, which for you guys, unfortunately, it will have already happened.
Oh,
so you
sad.
Can't make it. Ask me if it went well, because hopefully it will have. But yeah, October 8th, we'll be playing at the venue in Aurora. So hopefully that'll go well. We also have the Veterans Day concert, which will be Wind Ensemble.
Yes, yeah.
Which also Wind Symphony will play with us. But yeah, and if you guys, just a little side note, if you have any people in your family or community who are veterans, please invite them, because we have like a little get-together ceremony thing beforehand where they can come eat food, talk to other veterans, and then we play for them. So the only reason we have this concert is for people to show up to honor them.
Which is super cool. It gives a super cool opportunity to give back to the community.
Yeah. Didn't you have an orchestra concert recently?
Yes, we had our first, chamber did at least, at Baker Memorial Church. Mm-hmm. We played with Bel Canto and Chorale, which are both choirs here at North. Mm-hmm. Everybody sounded super good, which was really cool, and it was really cool to be able to hear the choir groups since they're not an orchestra, therefore I can't really hear them at the concerts.
Right. Yeah, that's really fun. Here's our guest, Bobby Ward.
Woo!
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming in today, Bobby.
So let's get right into it. Close your eyes. Imagine you are walking on the crunching leaves of autumn in a tree-filled forest. Suddenly, you hear intimidating footsteps from behind you.
Boom. Boom.
You turn around, and it's a bear. So do you fight the bear, or do you run?
Well, I mean, you can't really outrun a bear, you can't really outfight it, so might as well go down swinging.
Okay, so you think you could take a bear in a fight?
No, but I'd rather fight a bear than run from it.
That's valid. What kind of bear would you, presumably fight?
Black bear, because I might survive that.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
They're pretty chill.
All right. So, Bobby, you're the president of Eco Club. What is Eco Club?
Well, Eco Club, it's been hard to narrow down. We had a couple of different phases. We went from being more of a social club, more of a community-centered club, and doing volunteer work, and then we were more of a school-based club, helping around the school. This year, we kind of want to change it throughout the season, so right now for first semester, we kind of want to keep most of the meetings and more at school things more like a social club while we figure out more of what we're going to do second semester. Though later in the month, we're going to do more things such as, making bird feeders, helping out the community. And then, of course, we're partnering with Key Club to pick up plastic bags, which, people normally don't realize that most of the plastic bags that you recycle, if you put them in the recycling bin, they don't get recycled. They end up in the ocean because these recycling plants, they can't recycle them. So they just get thrown in the ocean. It's better to throw them out rather than recycle them in most cases. What we're doing now with Key Club, Megan, thank you for this again.
Yep, for listeners at home, I am the president of Key Club, which is a volunteering club here at North.
Exactly. So with this, being able to make actual things out of the recycled plastic bags like benches is a great way to help the community and again help the environment. So you don't have to worry about bags ending up in the ocean or our lakes or in any of our other natural ecosystems.
That's awesome.
Tell us more about your role in Eco Club. You're president, right?
I'm president, yeah. So basically, I kind of have to help manage every aspect of the club. Things like when we're doing our meetings, what those meetings are supposed to do, what large-scale events we want to do, what small-scale events we want to do, and how we're going to map out certain parts of the club. Last year, I was a big part in making sure that we had events to do, even though we normally had a bit lower turnout for that, mainly due down to the fact that a lot of people in our club were more academically pressed, especially during the winter months, which was when we were doing a lot of these events.
Yeah, it sounds like you really know what you're talking about, Bobby.
Yeah.
So have you been president for a long time, or
Nope.
How did that come about?
Mainly came about last year when the last president, Vivian Golick, I think that's how you say her last name, she basically said, because no one else wants to be president, you can be president. Don't let the club die. So,
that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it's not too bad, I mean, I know that there's a lot of people that want to go to Eco Club that want to do things to help, with the environment, with the community. And it mainly comes down to we just have to tell them, where to go, what we're doing, and tell them, who to contact if they want to be part of it.
Do you have like an e-board or is it just you?
Right now, the e-board used to be me and Richard Patton-Jones. He was the vice president, but he did not want to be in a leadership position. So right now, he is our arborist, what we call it. So when we do things like native plant, plantings, we're going to be, or he's in charge of that. So right now, we're planning on planting acorns at one of our next meetings. And once they become saplings in the spring, we'll plant them either at rewilding sites through the IDNR or just throughout the St. Charles Park District.
So, Bobby, you said that, you're kind of keeping the club afloat and everything, which is awesome. Do you think you have a good, a good support system of some maybe underclassmen or some juniors who are going to help the club evolve once you graduate?
Well, as of now, most of the main members are currently seniors. Our Instagram is run by Hannah Hitchens. That's how you say your last name.
I'm friends with Hannah. She's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. She keeps wanting to push the club further. So we're hoping in our next few meetings we really start mapping out the big events we want to do. I have a general idea of what we want to do, but it's going to need a lot of cooperation with other people. Right now, again, our teacher advisor, Peter Gleason, he talks a lot about how people want to go to the club and will actually email him, but they oftentimes don't have the information that they need, which oftentimes means that they won't show up or that they're overwhelmed with, being a new freshman or being a new sophomore.
Mm-hmm. When do you guys usually meet?
Normally, towards the beginning of the semester, we normally meet in the mornings on Fridays in room 455. But now we're kind of shifting to after school on Fridays, and maybe eventually we'll change to Thursdays just to, make more time for student athletes and for people in other clubs that, they'd be in conflict with if we had their meetings on Fridays.
So speaking of activities and such, I heard that you're in orchestra. Is that something that, is important to you and a big part of your life?
I would say so, yeah. I've been doing orchestra since I was in 3rd grade. I stopped in 5th grade and then came back in 6th grade. I was with our family. We were watching my sister play at North High School for the first time, and she said that could have been you. And then, after my parents pressured me a bit more, I'm like, okay, I'll go back to orchestra. Mm-hmm. And I would say that's probably one of the better decisions I had. I grew a lot more as a musician in high school, and it helped me make a lot more connections with a lot more people I know. So it's definitely a big part of, my life here at North.
What kind of music do you listen to besides, well, I know I'm in orchestra and I do not listen to classical music, so.
Yeah, I mean, I listen to some classical music. I listen to some pop. I do not listen to country, I can maybe count like 3 quote unquote country songs that I've ever listened to that I don't think are terrible. So like whatever sounds good, I guess. Nothing really nailed down.
So you're into music and other things. So how exactly did you get drawn into Eco Club in the first place?
Well, back in sophomore year, I was talking to the teacher advisor, Peter Gleason. I was in his chemistry class, and he said, we're doing this thing after school called Eco Club. We kind of just like hang out, we'll do things with the environment. Like, oh, that sounds awesome. Maybe I should join. And he's like, yeah, we're meeting this Friday. So, ended up showing up one day, and I came back for junior year, and that was just it.
So were you previously interested in eco-type things, or did you just go to the club and start getting really involved?
Well, ever since I was little, I've always kind of like, I love the outdoors. I always wanted, I was not as much invested in things like trees and, like the environment itself, more like, things like animals, especially when I was younger. But I guess through the club, I kind of gained more of a respect for, ecosystems and, keeping the environment healthy. So it's kind of a mix of both.
Yeah.
Are there any events happening throughout the year? Because I know that you talked about like winter time being a major like portion of when you guys are doing a lot of your community type stuff. So what events do you think are like, or do you know that are coming up that people can maybe know and get involved in?
Sure. I mean, for the month of October, I'm mainly trying to map out what we're going to do in November, since that's when we have a lot more people able to join the club. They're more October for a lot of seniors and a lot of other people is just going to be a really hectic month. If you look at the calendar, we have a lot of days off. A lot of Fridays, we're not going to be meeting because we don't have school those days. Right now, we do have a lot of big ideas, mainly through the SCC Park District, a lot of which are going to be through Hickory Nose. So that would be things like helping out their events like the flashlight Easter egg hunt in the spring, things like their candy cane hike in the winter, their January Jamboree, if they do that again, and then just about anything else they do. A big goal I have, though, for an event is going to come a bit later. I can't say when it is yet, but, hopefully it comes past, But it's going to be a bit more situational.
Yeah, that sounds like some fun activities. At your club meetings, what do you guys usually tend to do?
Well, it really depends on what the agenda is for the day. So, like, normally, as of now, we're going to be more preparing for, bigger events in November that we're trying to get moving. For the next few events or next few meetings, we're going to try to do little mini events or, smaller community things. So, like, our next one or the one right after that, we're going to do acorn planting. We were supposed to do that a week ago, but we had a couple complications. So, we're gonna push it back a bit more. And once you get, those just stayed over when we'll plant them later. We're also going to make bird feeders, whether or not we'll just be putting it around the school or if we're going to put it in forest preserves like Leroy Oaks. We still don't know exactly yet, but we should figure that out by next Wednesday.
Yeah.
So it sounds like Eco Club's full of a bunch of cool opportunities to be able to give back to your community. What other clubs or sports are you in?
So right now I'm in Fellowship of Christian Students. A bit more loosely, I haven't been to a meeting for a little bit. I'm a decently big part of Ping Pong Club, I've been there since it started. Club's great.
Which Ella is co-president of.
Yeah.
It's a very fun club. Lots of great people. And, I mean, it's a pilot club, right?
Yeah.
Again, like, what you guys did.
It's doing really well.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, and I founded it. It's
very
crazy.
Yeah. And then I'm part of SCN Key Club,
The best club of the school, some may say.
I don't know.
Maybe not
say
for
that.
long.
We do have 3 presidents of different clubs in the room, so that's a little...
Yeah, makes it.
Yeah,
no, it's a great club. I am looking forward to, working a lot more with Key Club, especially with Eco Club, since there's a lot of bigger events to help not just the environment, but the community that, I want to get pushed, especially for second semester. But, only time will tell, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So you're very into, like, the environment, obviously. So are you planning on studying something in that realm?
Yes and no. My main field of study that I want to focus on, for a career is going to be mechanical engineering since, my dad really helped push me more towards that with him being an engineer, and mechanical engineering is a big part of, how our world works. So whether or not, it would tie into things like, maybe putting up some kind of barrier or wildlife highway, that we might have to worry about later, maybe. And then I'm hoping to double major, maybe, hopefully in, biology or more specifically ecology, focusing on megafauna, things like bears, wolves, elk, and bison, Yeah, I mean, if I'm hoping like for more of the ecology degree to come in later in my life, probably not for the next 10-ish years.
Speaking of jobs, what was your dream job when you were little?
Well, when I was little, I thought, hey, dinosaurs are cool. I should become a paleontologist. And my dad sat me down and was like, look, you're either going to be in a lab all day on a computer or you're going to be out and digging for things. I was like, ooh, I want to dig for things the whole time. So, and then eventually I kind of shifted more to being a wildlife biologist since, I always thought it'd be cool to like actually be with, still living animals rather than just sitting in a desert, trying not to get sunburned and hoping you find some cool looking rocks.
So you have, music, the environment, ping pong. Do you have any other current passions?
Well, right now I like doing baseball. I'm not really good at it, Anyone that's played with me can tell you I'm very, very inconsistent at best. But it's always fun. I'll do basketball with some friends every now and then. I used to be much more committed to basketball.
Yeah.
Before the pandemic hit, and then more nature stuff. I like to hike. I like some photography. I'm not great at it. Like a lot of other people out of school are. But it's always fun to do that. And I mean, yeah.
Are you in any sort of league for baseball, or you just play for fun?
I just play for rec league for Wasco right now.
That's cool.
Yeah, we're pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
Never lost a game.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh. Are you on a team with people from North, or is it?
Yeah, I think there's maybe one or two kids that aren't from North.
Okay.
I say one or two because I only know one's not. I don't know about the rest. I think it's mostly North team.
That's fun.
Okay. Do you have any advice for freshmen?
It mainly comes down to don't be too intimidated. Don't try to be super cool. You're just gonna come off as like a bit anxious. It's just like it's not that bad here. Just like be a bit more confident. Don't be super cocky. Mm-hmm. Don't put off all your studying and don't think, oh, I can focus on college later. No, try to get decent grades. It is going to come back and bite you later. And definitely get involved, Like one of the best things about North is our extracurriculars, our clubs. Definitely make sure you go in our clubs, especially Eco Club, And plug in for a little bit. No, make sure you're like enjoying the high school. Yeah. It's Stargazer, yeah. Just make sure you're enjoying, the high school experience, but also that you're, not just putting off all your classes. Your mom and dad will probably appreciate that.
Yeah. Have you started applying to any colleges, or where you're planning on going or anything?
Right now I'm planning on going to NIU or Northern Illinois University, mainly because, it's cheaper, it's closer, so if I want to come back or move, go to a different spot in the state, it's pretty easy too. I'm going to apply to a few others. I haven't actually applied to any of them yet, but, a bit late to the call, but I'm planning most likely on going to NIU, maybe with a couple of friends, get a dorm.
Yeah, so that sounds fun.
Have you lived here your whole life?
I have, yeah. I was born in a hospital, I believe, in West Chicago, as in, I think it's somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I've lived in the same house my whole life. I'm very thankful for that, and yeah, it's great. It's a great place.
Do you ever wish that you kind of experienced some other towns or schools, or are you just pretty settled here?
I mean, like, elementary, definitely not, Like, you hear from, like, just about everyone, like, oh, this elementary school had this problem, this one had this one. The one I went to, it's only like, oh, this school was great, It was fantastic.
Where'd you go?
I went to Wilder's Elementary, It was very, very nice school. A lot of people that are at North did go there. And then I went to Erling after that.
Are you planning on staying in Illinois, like, throughout your life, or do you want to get out?
Like I thought, like maybe for a couple years, I maybe move up north or out west a little bit. Maybe up to the UP. Maybe I move out towards Colorado, which is more expensive, but I mean,
has some good hiking.
Yeah,
super nature.
So I'm thinking probably just staying around at least the Midwest, probably more so Illinois. Maybe going down south later in life.
Yeah, or a little retirement plan.
Yeah, just. All right, so I mean, what about you guys? You guys lived here your whole lives, or?
Well, I actually moved here in 8th grade. I used to live in Aurora. That's where I grew up.
So you've lived in Illinois your whole life, though?
Well, I was born in Indiana.
So you've lived in the Midwest your whole life?
Yes. I moved to Aurora when I was 2, and then here when I was, like, 12 or 13. 12, I think.
I was born in California, and then I lived there for I've traveled a long way. No, I used to live in California, and then I moved to Utah, and I went from like K through 12 or K through 3rd grade, and then I came here, and then I went to Wasco.
I mean, I can see California. I don't see Utah.
Yeah, Utah. Most people, I don't know. Most people don't really guess that.
Are there any people from East in like your baseball group or anything?
Yeah, I think the only one I remember that's currently on my baseball team is John Clark over at East. You know, I want to say there's more, but I just don't remember. I think.
Yeah. How many people are on your team?
I think we have 11 or 12. I will have people sub in. You know, like we'll have Cohendahl come in, Cal Harbeck, sometimes other people. You know, you know. I say that 'cause that's about it. We only have like 2 people.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's more like, you know,
is that a small amount for a baseball league? Or
I mean, like, kind of like you normally want to have like 10 or 11. So like, we're gonna have 14, but then a couple people just dropped. You know, they didn't want to be on the team anymore.
Yeah.
Not to name names. You know who you are. But,
oh my gosh.
Like, just quit on us. But
right.
I mean, I don't plan. We had a rough couple of first games. Really rough.
Yeah. You want me to come back?
Okay. I mean, it's in progress.
Okay.
Is your coach? Is it just like a parent or like?
Yeah. So far it's our main coach is Bob Harkar and Scott Gilmore, as well as Mr. Gordon. I don't know his first name. So,
Coach Gordon.
Yeah. Oh, Evan Gordon's dad.
Oh,
yeah, he's a big part of the team.
I don't know who that is.
He's a senior.
Yeah.
He wouldn't get it.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Very athletic senior, definitely.
Yeah. You don't play any sports, Megan, right?
No.
I was gonna say, are you gonna surprise me?
Do you play any sports?
I played basketball freshman year, but other than that, no.
I mean, ping pong.
I mean,
ping pong. I mean,
intramural sport, right?
It's in the Olympics.
Better than nothing. Oh, I mean, so is breakdancing. So, I mean,
I think we should start a breakdancing club. It would like go on top of like it would be with dance team, but like it would be different because it's
so like you don't have to
breakdancing. I think you should join that, Megan.
I think I would be good at it. Don't you?
That's why I said you should join it.
Yep. Thank you. So.
Start again.
Circling back to Eco Club, did you say you had something else you wanted to add about that?
Yeah, I mean, a big thing. I'm kind of like I'm on the rocks, like pushing this so far because again, like in the coming weeks, we're really gonna be starting like try to fully, basically build it from the ground up. You know, like not try to tear down what's there before, but like at our current point, we need to really rebuild the club, build into something a bit different.
Yeah.
But one big plan or goal I have is to help out with not only the Kane County Forest Reserve, but the IDNR and, some rewilding projects, which is basically just like, they'll set aside land for nature, they'll make corridors for nature, and some bigger cases they add new animals in. One big example of this right now is that the Kane County Forest Reserve wants to bring bison back to the county. Not like free roaming bison, because
that'd be a little,
but they're gonna have
that's cool.
Yeah, they're gonna have a big old bison unit over in Burnage Prairie, I think. Burnage Prairie Forest Reserve. I think it's a couple miles from here. But they're going to be mostly trying to follow suit in what McHenry County did, what Niehus Grasslands is doing, and what the Midway National Tallgrass Prairie is doing. Their big main focus is mostly just to like restore that prairie habitat to what it should have been, and then hopefully helping that little area of it will help. Because like when you bring bison to these areas, it really helps not just the land, but it helps all the animals that live on the land. Certain species of songbird, they can't really survive without large mammals helping to keep the prairie, how it is. And so, like, hopefully it boosts their populations. It helps them spread more of the prairie in their areas that can be spread. And it's a great project, and a big goal is for us to help out with that in some way, shape, or form. Probably not like with actually releasing them, that part of it, but maybe helping, maybe building fences, maybe getting part of the habitat ready. So, but again, like it's still a bit far off in the future.
Yeah, when you're talking about growing Eco Club, do you know how long it's been a club at North?
I'm not sure. I believe it's been going for the past 5 years.
Oh,
I'm pretty
that's
sure.
cool.
Yeah,
so it's
at
like,
least.
It's still a little new.
I was gonna say, if it was established like the year before
before
seniors,
Then,
but like just by a year, because that means that it was still a pilot club then.
Yeah.
That's probably why Gleason was pushing it so much.
Yeah, I mean,
just getting it going.
Yeah. So I'm really hoping though that once we start getting these bigger events, not just for this year, but hopefully like we can set things up for next year. So like the current juniors, sophomores, and freshmen can really like help push the club forward. You get us to do a lot more things. Make a bigger name for the club.
Are you planning on electing the president a little bit differently than how you were elected, or
are you just gonna
do you have or maybe do you have a person in mind, like Ella was saying?
Yeah, right now, I'm not yet. I don't really. There were some sophomores that did come up to me and said that they had some ideas for the club on the first meeting, and then they didn't show up to the other ones.
Oh,
so that's fake.
Yeah, so hopefully they show up again. But I'm hoping right now for probably a sophomore. Since they're more established, and since I've not seen a single junior show up to the club. Juniors just hate the environment, I guess.
Oh, I don't know about that. They're just all going.
Yeah, Megan. Wait a minute.
They're just all going to Key Club.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't you guys meet on different days?
Yeah, but they're just so invested.
They
can only do so much at once.
So much.
They can only have so much on their plate.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I think depending on how big the club becomes, we'll definitely do like elections for things like our editor, our event organizer, or event planner, and then depending on how many people we have, we might do elections for president, vice president, or we just like say, look, I'm gonna make this person the next president.
Yeah,
you don't get to say anything, and then they get to pick who they want as vice president. But again, big issue. They might just like pick someone that's their friend, and their friend doesn't help out at all. And then
that's just definitely a worry.
Yeah.
Have you thought about like reaching out to those sophomores
that have really come back? Because
I think if
I want to hear you out.
Because if you encourage them, I feel like they might want to.
Yeah, I mean, a big goal of October and early November is just to get people to show up to the club. We're going to be putting posters all around the school, and again, we just want to make sure like if you want to be part of the club, if you're interested in what we might do and what we are going to do. Or if you have your own ideas of what we should do, then again, definitely come down. And a big part of it isn't just like, okay, this is the only way we're going to do this or this or this. A big part of it is going to be, what other ideas do you guys have? What do you guys want to do? How do you guys think we should do this? A big problem with a lot of this stuff nowadays is that we don't talk to each other. A lot of the divides we have, in our world is because, and again, over the big issue of, climate change is that you have two big, opposing ends, and then like, people just don't think they can talk anymore. And, hopefully
raise those voices.
Raise the voices. Be up.
Yeah, that sounds great, Bobby. Well, I think that's all the time we have today, but we're really thankful that you could be on our first episode so we can make this happen.
Yes. Of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, see ya.
See ya.
Well, I think that was very successful for our first episode, don't you think, Ella?
Yeah, I didn't know that there was so much that Eco Club was doing. And I didn't know that you guys you and Key Club were combining.
Yeah, we're doing some collaboration this year. I'm excited because we don't have anything finalized yet. So it'll be fun to see what's going to come out of it.
But it seems like an awesome way to be able to give back to your community and then also give back to like the earth. Even though it's in a small way, I think every measure and every attempt matters.
Yeah, I also like how, even though we joke about it, it's not really like a competition between clubs. Like, we're working together, and we're able to do that, which I think is good. Because even if you're in Eco Club and you're not in Key Club, you can still do things to help out.
Exactly.
Either way. And it might get people interested in the other clubs and think, I really want to do things for the community and that kind of stuff. I didn't know that Bobby played baseball. Did you?
I think I remember him saying that in freshman year. I'm going to be so honest. Because it was
really?
Because it was like one of those, you're sitting in a circle because we were in the same orchestra class. And it was like, say something, like, I was like Ella Elephant because my name starts with an E and then, and he did like Bobby Baseball. So I've like, I don't know, I felt like I knew that. But I didn't know that he's lived here his entire life.
Did you know him before freshman year or no?
No, because he went to Redling, I went to Thompson. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah. Speaking of the environment, do you hear that rain?
Yes, I do, Megan.
Sounds like it's coming down pretty hard.
Yeah.
Do you know what thunder does?
What does thunder do?
It rolls.
Roll stars!